All right, so today we're doing Matthew chapter 23, verses 13 to 36. This is not a short section, and there's a lot of information in here. This is the 8 woes. So we're going to go and break down each one after we read it. But woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you shut the kingdom of heaven in front of people, for you do not enter it yourselves, nor do you allow those who are entering to go in. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you travel around on sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he becomes one, you make him twice as much a son of hell as yourselves. Woe to you, blind guides, who say, whoever swears by the temple, that is nothing, but whoever swears by the gold of the temple is obligated. You fools and blind men, which is more important, the gold or the temple that sanctified the gold? And you say, whoever swears by the altar, that is nothing, but whoever swears by the offering that is on it is obligated. You blind men, which is more important, the offering or the altar that sanctifies the offering? Therefore, the one who swears by the altar swears by both the altar and everything on it. And the one who swears by the temple swears both by the temple and by him who dwells in it. And the one who swears by heaven swears both by the throne of God and by him who sits on it. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you tithe mint and dill and cumin, and have neglected the weightier provisions of the law, justice, mercy, and faithfulness. But these are the things you should have done without neglecting the others. You blind guides who strain out a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you clean the outside of the cup and of the dish, but inside they are full of robbery and self-indulgence. You blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup and of the dish, so that the outside of it may also become clean. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you are like whitewashed tombs, which on the outside appear beautiful, but inside they are full of dead men's bones and all uncleanness. So you too, outwardly, appear righteous to people, but inwardly you are full of hypocrisy and lawlessness. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you build the tombs for the prophets and decorate the monuments of the righteous. And you say, if we had been living in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partners with them in shedding the blood of the prophets. So you testify against yourselves that you are sons of those who murdered the prophets. Fill up then the measure of the guilt of your fathers. You snakes, you offspring of vipers, how will you escape the sentence of hell? Therefore, behold, I am sending you prophets and wise men and scribes. Some of them you will kill and crucify, and some of them you will flog in your synagogues, and persecute from city to city, so that upon you will fall the guilt of all the righteous blood shed on earth, from the blood of righteous Abel to the blood of Zechariah the son of Berechiah, whom you murdered between the temple and the altar. Truly I say to you, all these things will come upon this generation. So I also skipped verse 14 because that one I have in the additions on the bottom of my Bible personally. But we're going to go ahead and read that. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you devour widows' houses, even while for appearance's sake you make long prayers. Therefore, you will receive greater condemnation. So we're going to go ahead and break each one of these down. These are all woes for the leaders of the Jewish people, the ones who say they know the law but are not acting accordingly. The first woe. Woe to you. So I'm just going to explain what the woe is. So I recommend that you pause this video, read that woe, go to the explanation. Oh, you know what? I'll just do it. So the first woe. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you shut the kingdom of heaven in front of people, for you do not enter it yourselves, nor do you allow others who are entering to go in. So it's pretty much saying, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, that's who he's addressing, because you close the door to heaven. You do not enter it yourselves, and you do not allow others who are entering to go inside. The second woe. We're going to go to 14. So, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you devour widows' houses, even while for appearance sake you make long prayers. Therefore you will receive greater condemnation. So they're saying, or Jesus is saying, woe to the scribes and Pharisees, because they steal from the vulnerable, yet do long prayers to look holy to the people. For that they will have greater condemnation. The third one. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you travel around on sea and on land, making one a proselyte. And when it becomes one, You make him twice as much a son of hell as yourselves. So for the third one, it's saying, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, because you travel making one a proselyte, which is they're converting people. A proselyte is like someone who's been converted to their religion or however. And when they do, they're twice a son of hell as them themselves due to misguidance. So because the Pharisees and scribes are converting them into what they do, they end up doing the exact same things, which is totally wrong and against everything the kingdom of God stands for. So woe number 4, we have, woe to you, blind guides, who say, whoever swears by the temple, that is nothing, but whoever swears by the gold of the temple is obligated. So on this one, it's saying, woe to the blind guides, because you are saying that the one who swears by the temple is nothing, but the one who swears by the gold of the temple is obligated. So this is just stating that the gold or the offering is more important than the temple itself, which if you read from 17 onward to 22, Jesus tells you, hey, it's not the offering itself that's important, it's the temple. Or it says, do you swear by the altar or what's the sacrifice on the altar? He goes, the altar is more important. It's the altar that sanctifies the offering. Because it even says on verse 20, therefore, the one who swears by the altar swears by both the altar and everything on it. The one who swears by the temple swears both by the temple and by him who dwells in it. So by swears to God. And the one who swears by heaven swears by both the throne of God and by him who sits on it. So there's your answer. The next woe. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you tithe mint and dill and cumin, and have neglected the weightier provisions of the law, justice and mercy and faithfulness. But these things you should not have neglected, pretty much. So here we have to the woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you tithe the small things, but not the important things, like justice, mercy, and faithfulness. Because they're over here tithing like the food, the 10% of the things that they grow or whatever. But they're not actually giving to God, the justice, the mercy, and the faithfulness that is from the kingdom of God. They're not doing that amongst the people. The next one. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you clean the outside of the cup, of the dish, and of the dish, but inside are full of robbery and self-indulgence. So, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, you clean the outside of the cup, but not the inside. Outwardly, you portray yourself holy, but inwardly you are full of self-indulgence and robbery. So they are, what you need to understand about being a Christian is God heals you from the inside and then it comes out, right? So if there's a sin you're doing and you're genuinely praying to God and being like, Lord, help me, set this at your altar or however, He is cleaning up the wounds and everything inside of you, whether it be mental abuse, physical abuse, things happen in your past, the traumas that end up purifying you. So Jesus is saying that these people are not pure inside, but they act like they are. They portray themselves as men of God, pretty much. So the seventh one here. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you are like whitewashed tombs, which on the outside appear beautiful, but on the inside are full of dead men's bones and all uncleanness. Pretty much saying the same thing. So you look alive on the outside, but inwardly, or you are dead spiritually. So this is talking about spiritually. Like, they portray themselves as holy men of God, but on the inside, they're truly dead. Like, they're not actually doing the things they're supposed to be. And the very last one. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, for you build tombs for the prophets and decorate the monuments of the righteous. And you say that if we had been living in those days of our fathers, we would not have been partnered with them in shedding the blood of the prophets. So Jesus calls them out straight up. He's like, yeah, right. Like, you would definitely do the same thing. And they do, because they killed Jesus. So, anyway. Pretty much Jesus says that, oh, you guys are saying that you wouldn't do the same thing, but they are made of the same cloth. They are the children of the vipers, children born of the same blood, pretty much. So he's just saying, yeah, right. You are just like them, just like your fathers. And then he says, this isn't a part of the woes, but this is right after. He says, therefore I am sending you prophets and wise men and scribes. Some of them you will kill and crucify, and some of them you will flog in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city. He's saying, okay, prove it. I'm going to send prophets and wise men and scribes to you, and watch, you're going to do the same thing. This would be him himself, Jesus, and also all the disciples and the apostles. I know that's a lot, and if that was too much for you to handle, it's okay. Just understand that Jesus is coming at them because they're liars. Point blank, period. They're liars. He's saying, you guys are looking holy, but are not inside. You guys are devilish. You guys are self indulging. You say one thing, you do another. Um, pray to God that He would reveal to you the secrets of what's in His Word. Because it's truly an honor to be able to understand this. Because I did not one day long ago. Not that long ago. But yeah, hope you learned something today. We'll see you tomorrow.